Uh, I would also like to start by greeting you all, Indian citizens, on this very happy occasion. Of course, an event like this, a day like this, it calls for celebration, but also retrospection. So, we are celebrating 66 years of independence, which you can say is almost 2 generations. Coincidentally, my father was of the age that my son is today, so we are 2 generations separated from that day, 15th August 1947. So when we look at India since independence, as I said, 66 years, you can consider 66 years to be a very short time and also a very long time. Short in the sense of, a nation building. Of course, if you look, for example, just compare to the United States. 66 years after 1776, the Civil War hadn't even begun. And so the history of the United States in 1776 plus 66 was very different. So nation building goes on, but in some senses, 66 years is a long time as well. Long time to seriously introspect and analyze as to what we have achieved, what we could have achieved but have not been able to. And it's long enough for us to say that whatever we have done, we will take responsibility for it. So we cannot just keep blaming the British for all ills that befall us. So that is retrospect. And then prospectively, we have to see, as Dr. Singh said, well, when Dr. Parayattam showed you this PowerPoint presentation, when Gandhi's picture was there was this word Swaraj. And if you just do a loose translation, Swaraj means Raj for oneself. Swa means self. Self-rule, as we understand. But that's only a political layer. And we have to go beyond that meaning of Swaraj. So today, 66 years later, we cannot just say Swaraj means independence from a colonizer's rule. It means we have to see where we have come in terms of being free oneself. And finally, we are, of course, in a distant land, and almost all of us either came here for education or right now are engaged in education. So maybe it's good if we can see what is the role that we play. If you look at India's history, independence movement's history, and as Dr. Parayattam said, many of these leaders, the Nehrus, the Gandhis, the Tagores, the Aurobindo Ghoses, they were all NRIs in a way. Now, of course, I don't like to use the word NRI. I would prefer to call diasporic Indians, but diasporic Indians played a major role in the independence movement, and they continue to play a major role, though the roles have changed a bit. So for people like us, what we bring to India is a fresh look, a fresh perspective, because we have seen what goes on in other parts of the world. Gandhi, for example, says that his political struggle ideas, they came during his time in South Africa. So here in this country, when we see its culture, when we read its history, that gives us some fresh perspectives that we can say, well, these could be applied to India. So in that sense, we need to learn from the land that we have chosen to live in today, the United States. So with that, once again, I thank you, Dr. Parayattam, for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts, and also my greetings again on this very happy day. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I would like to invite Dr. David Milestone. He's here to give a few words.
Given that it is the hour of lunch, I will will use very few words. On behalf of all of us in the room and all of us in the community, we owe a great deal of thanks to our Indian community. Not only do you get together to share with each other, but you share with us, and that's a real blessing for us. This community is richer because of what you bring to us all year long. We are so pleased that we can join you for this very important day, and we hope throughout the whole year, whether it's Diwali or any of the other celebrations, that we will fill the auditoriums and fill the rooms with people who are just so excited to share your culture. Thank you very much for everything you've done, and thank you to our faculty who give tremendous support to this organization.
I would request Professor T.K. Roy to say a few words. 2 minutes, please. And followed by Professor Puri.
Professor.